and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. We care about the climate.
Something special, unforgettable, 50 Cent, just stand, simple lane. She want it, I wanna give it to her. She know that it's right here for her. I wanna see her break it down. I'm ballin'. Blowing money around. She a work girl, she work the pole, she break it down, she take it low, she find it, she bout the dough, she doing a thing out on the floor. Her money, she make it look at the way she shake it, make you want to touch it, make you want to taste it. How you lustin' for it, going crazy, face it now, don't stop, get it, the way she shake it, make you want it. Then she double jointed from the way she split it, got your head from the way she did it, she's so much more than you used to. She knows just how to move to seduce you. She gon' do the right thing and touch the right spots and dance on your lap till you ready to pop. She always ready when you want it. She want it like a the info. I show you where to meet her on the late night till daylight. The club jumping if you want a good time. She gon' give you what you want.
Baby, you're so new age, you're like my new craze. Let's get together, maybe we can start a new phase. The smoke's got the club all hazy, spotlights don't do you justice, baby. Why don't you come over here? You got me saying, hey, oh, I'm tired of using technology. Why don't you sit down on top
Welcome
of
back
me?
into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to JT, Justin Timberlake. It's his birthday today. Aquarius business in the house. He just did Saturday Night Live. I think, was that last Saturday night? Over the weekend, dropped a new single. He's not Man in the Woods anymore. He's coming back on his, Timbo vibe. We'll have to see where that takes him. Britney Spears, as I mentioned the other day, has come out and apologized for some of the things she said in her book. And she said his new single is hot. Let me find out Britney still got, little feeling, little glow for JT. I don't know. Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580 with our good friend Trent Jackson, Trent the artist.
Hi.
We're still floating on that Cy Smith.
Oh, she's lovely. She's one of my favorite people of all time.
Really great spirit. I mean, the voice on the spot, just, no prep. She didn't know that was coming. Just like, sing to his girl, and she did.
Yep.
We love that. That is amazing.
It sounds just like the record, too.
So shout out to that. We love to see that in the building. So she mentioned that Sheila E. is on this album, on one of the singles. And, earlier this week, I mentioned it, the documentary on the making of We Are the World dropped on Netflix.
Let me restart my Netflix right now while I'm sitting here so I could just watch that.
You need to.
No, I have to because the drama of it all.
There's so much of it, They have Prince looking like a villain in that.
Well, he always looks like a villain. He's a Gemini.
I mean, man, Well, Sheila E. recently revealed the documentary is called The Greatest Night in Pop. As I mentioned, it's a Netflix documentary about the making of We Are the World in 1985 after the American Music Awards ceremony that had all of the top artists in pop assembled in one room to record a song. And, that's a lot of egos to manage and pull together in one space. So Sheila E. mentioned that the producers, Lionel Richie and Quincy Jones, really, she feels like the only reason why they invited her to the session to begin with is because they were trying to get Prince on board. She said, Lionel and Quincy kept saying, "Why don't you call Prince?" Everyone took turns trying to get me to call him back and have him come down. I just thought, wow, they were all my friends. That's cold blooded. So, do you think that it is wrong that sometimes people will extend invites to things where you could still benefit, but really it's about an ulterior motive? Even if a situation like that where it's with all the pop luminaries and you're being given this request from,
You would ask me that question, wouldn't you, Jill Munroe?
I mean,
You know the stories. People have done that to me all the time. They know that I'm connected with a celebrity. They know I'm hanging out with a celebrity this week. They call me up. Oh, so can you get to? Oh, well, I know that you're going to be out. So what? No, I'm not swinging by. We're not coming anywhere. We're riding. No, the answer is no. They do it all the time. The whole business is built on that.
I mean, but it, I was recently talking with a friend and we were discussing how even though it is something that we both kind of wanted to rally against for years, hard work and dedication do pay off, right?
Yes.
Not for everyone. Just being honest, there's a little bit of luck sprinkled in with that, but what is luck but preparation, meeting the right moment. But it is also very much a business that is about connections.
Yes.
And who you know and who you meet in these sometimes random circumstances. And it's something that, I often haven't wanted to lean into because, there is an element of it that feels a little, deceitful or that you're not making genuine connections, right?
And here's the other part of that too. It's like the higher you climb, you kind of realize, and I'll just use Black LA as an example. Black LA is very small.
It is.
It used to be 6 degrees of separate, really 3, but it's 1 degree of separation at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. Everybody knows.
If you're from
everybody
LA
connected
and
to.
you're a native of Los Angeles, your business is not your business because it's micro. It's because there's so many people that come from out of town. It's like the LA people is like we're close and we know what's up. It's the same thing, but the higher you climb, it's like the same people and everybody are friends because it's like it's a gatekeeping situation. It's very cliquish. So now you can't really do that because everybody is friends. Versus yesteryear, there was a lot of no, I'm not doing that. I don't have to be there.
I think
XYZ.
it still can go down sometimes, though. I mean, because people are cliquish and they will click right around you.
But they do things more for the show now, and they do things for clout. Oh, I have to be there, and I want to be there. Got to take this picture. Got to, and it's all based on that. It's based on clout.
That is true.
Versus yesteryear, you can stand on your own and be like, "Girl, I'm not doing that."
Well, when we come forward, we'll get into more of that topic. We are also going to get into this AI and manipulated media content conversation because I think it's quite interesting. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, we have talked a bit about, AI, the challenges. I think it was last week, Taylor Swift finally got some AI images that have been floating around of her in, I guess some sexually explicit positioning, all AI generated, that were floating around, so much so that X, Twitter, had to kill any search of her name while they got all of the images removed. It's making it hard to know what's real and what isn't. It really is changing almost. This might sound like I'm sounding the alarm, but there are concerns about what is real and what isn't as far as the future goes and what this could mean. But right now it's still in development. But an NBC News report revealed that there's dozens of YouTube channels that have recently rised up that are posting what appears to be AI-generated fake news and content specifically around Black celebrities and targeting Black media and Black news, right? Many of the videos they reviewed, they consider to be clickbait, right? With titles and thumbnails that include allegations, narratives that are completely false, unequivocally made up, right? And a lot of the videos have views that are in the millions. One channel, the median number for combined views for, well, not just one, for a few of these channels, so that means taken together, was about 21 million, right? And they spoke to someone at YouTube and said the platform reviewed and took a number of actions of several of the channels, including terminating 3 of them for terms of service and so forth. But some of the disinformation that has been out there and the celebrities that isn't impacted include Diddy, who we just talked about, really an uptick surrounding him, and misinformation when the information came out about the Cassie lawsuit and her suing him, and then the subsequent others. So surrounding that, there's been a lot of false accusations, allegations, photos put out. Also around Steve Harvey, Denzel Washington, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and others, right? And they have, put people involved in situations that they were nowhere around, really doesn't concern them at all, and put them together, put these stories together, including, there's also the videos that are manipulated to depict them in, all types of inappropriate acts and so forth. And so it just it makes you wonder going forward, right? And I've seen some of these videos, they come up sometimes in your algorithm, just slide in there, and you do look at it and wonder, like, that doesn't seem right, but it has 980 million views. What's going on here, right? And I just wonder as people are reading less and less, not paying attention to detail, are comfortable with lies being put out there as long as it is about someone or something that they don't like or don't care for. How are we going to be able to distinguish reality from falsehoods in the future?
We can't. It's too late already.
You don't think that the legislation will come through and at least put a cap on some of these areas?
No, and the legislation will be to regulate the internet and to monitor what we view and how we view it and when we view it, because that's them restricting it will probably be the only way that they feel that they have some type of control over it. I think it's too convoluted at this point. It's too far gone. It's gotten too far. I mean, when they started printing these damn 3D dolls that look like people, that can in printing robotics that can move around for other, nefarious, reasons. Like it that was it.
Like the dolls that used to be on the HBO show.
Right.
Real?
It's too late. Once we got there, and once we got into the AI thing, and then the pictures started, it's already here. It's too late at this point to even try to regulate it. It's too far gone.
So I know that there is, and I can't remember what state it is, but there are school systems that are starting to implement. I believe it's here. I'm saying I don't believe the state. I believe that California is implementing something starting as low as elementary school, where the plan is to introduce a course or a class that helps students start to learn and distinguish between real and fake news, how to spot, misleading headlines and whatever. Do you think giving that educational backing will do something to help where we're obviously headed as far as misinformation?
No. All that's going to do is control what is the truth and what's not. So just like in Florida, we see them taking out, what is it called, critical race thinking or whatever it is. This is just a new form of that for California. It's basically controlling, because who's to say what's the line was truth? Like, okay, we can't really distinguish fake news now.
So here's the thing. I mean, I think it's important to kind of, put something out there, or at least make some attempt to have some type of guide rails, because you think about things, I mean, all the way from the ridiculous. How many people still get caught up in the email scams? Maybe not, I'm reaching out from Nigeria as a, a barrister for a $50 billion estate.
And how many people,
but
had to,
people are still getting caught up in things like that.
And even though, like, we know now, but so many people had to get, scammed before it became a thing. So how many people are going to have to get tricked or catfished before it becomes like a thing? But the damage is already done at that point. Like, what's going to stop it? And you saying that this is fake news and it might actually be real news, but you tell me it's fake, then what happens there? I mean, so who's the one that's drawing the line of what's regulated is the question. Or what is the guideline for it, really?
That is an interesting question, and I think it's a very important one. But I wonder, is it having to have two sources attributed to it? Is it knowing that this is from a real life person that can be held accountable?
Right. A reputable source. Like, what is it? We don't know.
We don't. But I do think that there has to be something put in place, because where we are headed, to me, feels worse in some regards than some of the things that we've seen in movies about the future and control and things of that nature. Because with this type of stuff, it's not the obvious things that are like red flags that I feel like people, although everybody, people get tricked all the time, but I feel like it's the small things that are
very
going
subtle
to
things, yes,
like pick at and just
that
open
will cause
up
the change,
the biggest hole. Something so simple, something like, again, this is just overactive imagination, but something like, we have Siri and we have Alexa and things like that. What if someone could not just tap into those things to listen or hear you, but, control the information that is given to you when you're asking questions or things like that? I just think about things like that are so out of your control, things that you rely on. Our
Correct.
cars are all computer based at this time, to a degree, if you have a
Yes.
newer car.
A push
So,
button.
how does AI impact that? Because there's so many things that are connected with your car as far as the internet and GPS and tracking and,
Yes.
controlling things. So, I have my concerns. Andy?
Pardon me if you guys discussed this already, but with regards to like AI, misinformation, this, that, and the third, I think you got to pay attention to the comment section on certain posts as well too. I think there's a lot of bots in these comment sections. I don't think they're real people as well too. So from posts to comments, just all seem fake.
I mean, that is true. You can see the repeat phrases that come up. You see that if you mention a certain topic or a certain name, you seem to get a lot of likes from out of nowhere, or just, random things that don't quite look right.
One more thing about misinformation though. The thing that kills me is that they're making such a big deal of certain posts that you see on social media about misinformation, right? But for the majority of time, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's been a lot of our textbooks from elementary, middle, and high school that has misinformation. But yet we're supposed to give credence to these books because they're either quote unquote peer reviewed or, they're textbooks. But the lie about Christopher Columbus, we've been told that for years. And this is something that we've learned in school. So a lot of people put issues on social media. Nah, we got to check these textbooks too.
I mean, it just overall, I think that, we're in a place where we're more aware, right? We know the falsehoods that have been handed down to us to some degree. We have more ways and resources to tap in. But because of that, not everyone has the same discernment. Not everyone is going to be able to step back and look at, something presented from all sides and understand, well, this side, though right, you obviously see where there could be a bit of, bias attached to that and things of that nature. Discernment is going to be so heavy. And
But
I
how
don't
many
know.
people have that? Because you can't even, the attention span is too short to even
Man.
pay attention, look enough to see something is off.
I agree.
I appreciate that, Trent. I feel like if you're 21 and up, if you lack discernment, then I think you want to be asleep. The kiddos, I can understand that. But 21 and up, considering everything that's being exposed now, we're in the age of truth now. Man, if you ain't awake now, you want to be asleep.
You took the pill. Listen, we have Fahima on DC on line
Fahima, one of my favorites.
Thank you always for checking in. Let's hear what Fahima has to say tonight.
What up, Trent? What up, Jill?
Hey, Fahima, thanks for calling.
Yeah, I just got out of Uncle Luke's space where we had George Santos and Matt Gaetz, but I won't talk about it. Listen, I want to say to Andy, the fact that he understands that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America shows that it's not effective. Now, as far as the anti-intellectual capacity of people, lack of capacity of people, that people aren't reading. They're graduating from YouTube University. I mean, you've got clowns that are on these platforms, and I can name them, but I'm not going to, who are spewing misinformation every single day. I've seen it. There's one site where the narrator has a British accent, and they're talking about tragedies that have happened to people, and there's no such thing. Now, as far as there being bots putting information out, I'm not going to say that there aren't, but there's a lot of anti-intellectual people who are falling for anything that is said. And this is one of the things I like about the Twitter spaces, but somebody put out some nonsense, you can refute them with some actual facts, okay? But what's happening is that people are posting all kinds of things. And a perfect example is the situation with the color purple. There, I'm sure you saw this, Jill. I think the latest thing was that Oprah is suing Taraji P. Henson for the failure of the color purple. And that's not true. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. And people are putting out misinformation, and, you know, they have to take some responsibility, you know. And what's happening is this generation, sadly, that doesn't read, they'll look at a YouTube video and they'll think it's gospel. There's one guy whose name I'm not going to mention, but his initials are CC, and he's telling people that not only are black people indigenous to this land and Native Americans, but Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner never existed. As well, nor did the transatlantic slave trade occur. These people are anti-intellectual, and these are nincompoops who are listening to what they're saying and treating it as gospel without checking it.
I mean, and that's it in a nutshell. And the thing that I guess I don't understand with this changeover, and maybe I do, it is the idea is that you can learn from anyone, right? And you can connect knowledge from anywhere. But at the same time, you still, for me, I need some type of source or some type of reference to come along with it. And I don't think people are vetting their sources. They're more so just looking to be entertained by it. And they don't really care about finding the truth or getting to the deeper discovery underneath the surface of things. They just want to hear some BS to waste their time and move
entertain
around.
them. Yep.
Yep.
Now, I'll use Google to find out why something on my computer is not working and fix a glitch or a patch. But I'm not going to go to YouTube to get information historically. I'm going to go and look in the Library of Congress, the National Archives. I'm not going to go and Google. I'm not saying that they may not have something, but a lot of this stuff is subjective and other people's opinion. One other point you were mentioning, Jill, about, you know, how you were concerned about the technology maybe spying on you. Actually, it is, because Amazon was sued for Alexa and the Ring cameras spying on people. So actually, this technology is listening. This technology is checking for you.
I mean, we all are undercovers, but I mean, I believe that, but I'm saying specifically, again, watch too many TVs, an individual behind the scenes, like, nope, I'm tapping in for nefarious reasons and so forth. Listen, when we come forward, we'll have more on this topic, more trending topics and headlines. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580, news and sports on the other side.
Got a thing for that thing she got, the way she make it tick, the way she make it pop and make it rain for us, so she don't stop. I ain't got the move, I can sit, watch, in the fantasy, it's plain to see just how it be, her and me.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A civil rights figure is now immortalized in Richmond, Virginia. The city unveiled a statue of Jane Cooper Johnson. In 1961, as a 12-year-old girl known as Daisy Jane Cooper, she was the first black student to attend West Hampton Junior High School. The 12-foot-high statue is called Strides. Johnson remembers being very lonely at the time, and she tells 12 on Your Side she hopes this creates a dialogue that leads to empathy and compassion. The operators of a Dayton, Ohio Sleep Number mattress outlet are agreeing to a settlement with a local woman over her treatment at their store in December 2023. The Dayton unit of the NAACP assisted 85-year-old Helen Dewberry as she dealt with corporate leaders. Employees called police on Dewberry in December after she questioned them about a purchase agreement and reportedly refused to leave. The company has apologized to the woman, and they have agreed to put employees through bias-free customer service training. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Nearly 3,000 teen drivers die in car crashes each year. Tire Rack Street Survival is designed to save lives. The one-day hands-on driving school gives teens experience in car control through exercises that include emergency braking and skid recovery. Find a class near you at TireRack.com/survive.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice is racial justice.
Environmental justice is social justice.
This is KBLA Talk 1580.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Got me a down girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley as the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show. Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DePrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen, welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. New edition, the greatest R&B group of all time. Can I tell you guys a secret, though?
What you like, Ralph?
No, that's not the secret. The secret is I was not in the Cool It Now video. I wish. That was probably one of my little 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, however I was at the time, dreams. Madly. You know, I got to go to my first New Edition video shoot for You're Not My Kind of Girl. I was at that video shoot. You can't see me, but I was there. It was an audience concert thing. Look, no, that's not it. I do, you know, I know the choreography. It just happens in moments. Your arm just snaps out because you know the moments, the ad-libs, the little body waves that they would step out and do. That stuff is just in me. But I do not like to hear them perform Candy Girl and Cool It Now. Because Ralph's voice absolutely is not hitting that falsetto at 54 years old, 55, 56, however he is at this. Why am I acting like I don't know? He's going to be 56 May 16th. Boom, there it is. But also just, you know, because it does take you back to a special moment in childhood, but everything that they're singing about as a grown adult, I had to let that go. You know, I see women walking around, no shade, no tea. I respect it because I love them too, with Candy Girl for Life tattoos and stuff like that. And I'm just like, really? Really?
He has the same birthday as Janet Jackson?
Yes, he does. Two of my favorite Tauruses.
Interesting.
On May 16th. You know, it's a lot. So we were talking a little bit about AI and the expectations or the inevitable that is coming with it and all of the different things. But I kind of want to switch gears and talk about a little bit of old school love, you know, 80s thing. You know, we've been talking about Cheryl Lynn. As of late, I talked about a couple weeks ago how her single from back in the day, Encore, it's about 40 years old now, has started rising back up on the charts because of a TikTok trend. Well, Cheryl recently jumped into the Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion fray. She jumped out the window in defense of Megan Thee Stallion. Auntie got in the mix. But the thing that was not funny, but interesting, maybe a little heartbreaking, not really heartbreaking, but a little sad, is that the kids weren't here for it. They were like, who is this old lady clout chasing? I'm not familiar with her music. Why is she involved? What Cheryl did was she tweeted, let me slow that down, at Megan Thee Stallion. Whenever you're ready to sample Encore, you have my 100% approval. Signed, Auntie Hottie Cheryl. So, you know, she's putting it down, showing support, right? And she also said, never speak ill of the deceased, especially when they're next to you. So that is, you know, Nicki Minaj and her chorus on Bigfoot. Something, your dead mama, whatever Nicki was saying, you know. Deep. It's deep. But equally perplexing is the headlines say the song that Miss Cheryl Lynn sings, right? And I don't know, does it just not occur to you that maybe it's an artist that came out before your time and to go look and see what it is? Like, sometimes I just don't get it. As much as they like the younger generation, the youth, like to look back and, stick on that 90s Y2K stuff. Does their brain not work beyond that?
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. So shout out to Auntie Cheryl for getting in the mix. Do you think she was clout chasing?
No, I think she was just adding her comment as someone who has experienced life in this industry as a woman, and nothing more than that.
No, I mean, what I will say is Cheryl is very active on Twitter. Remember
For sure.
when Anita Baker, the stuff was popping off with Anita Baker and Babyface? She added her commentary to the mix. She clapped back at, I think it might have been a fake account of someone else at one time, but she's in on the trending topics. So just like
What did she say
these
about
other
Anita Baker and
people-
Babyface?
I can't remember. She dropped something in the mix, when that, I think she said Anita Baker wasn't nice.
I love it because she's not nice.
But we'll see. Andy, you look like you had something to add to the mix.
She was clout chasing.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to tell Megan Thee Stallion, hey, you can use my encore anytime? Because she know the song has been resurrected. It's back
Right.
on the chart. So, hey, Megan, you got a beef right now. If you want to respond to Nicki Minaj, I'm on your team. Use my song to sample.
Okay. I mean, and I talked about it a little bit when Sai was here, but is it a bad thing, right? Where, I mean, she didn't say anything negative about Nicki, right? But she did drop herself in the mix. Is it a bad thing to keep relevant and to add commentary like everybody else at this point in time? I understand some people can overextend those points, but what are your thoughts on it?
Sometimes it's just better to be quiet. You don't have to say anything.
You think she did too much sticking up for her? She's beyond her depth as far as this.
I mean, no, but I think it was just genuine support.
Okay. I do think that people could choose to be quiet a little more frequently, but, it's a choice, and we will, get around to it. So you had not gotten here yet when I talked about this story, but I wanted to hear your opinion. Did you hear my story about Cuba Gooding Jr. walking into the birthday party where a girl was celebrating, and he started serenading her and then blew out the candle on her cake in the restaurant and walked away like, yeah, I did that. You're welcome.
I would be so annoyed.
Would you?
I will be so annoyed. It's not your birthday, sir. It's not your cake. And considering that you were always putting your hands on people inappropriately, where has your breath in your mouth been on my cake?
I said post-COVID, do we blow out I am big time a fan of when we light the candles, we fan them out. No more blowing spittles on the delectables after the fact. I think, but you don't think that would be a fun little look? You're going to be telling that story forever.
Yeah, he's crazy in a good way. He's fun. But I will be annoyed. Let's just take a picture around the cake and let's just say you crashed the party and go home. I'll give you some cake and that's it. Yeah.
Keep it there.
I'm very territorial about stuff like that. This isn't my party. Like, what are you doing?
It's my party and you'll cry if I want you to.
Or
I'm changing up the words.
Or throw you out, yeah.
And get you out the building. I know that's right. Speaking of, we're in countdown mode. It's almost Pisces season.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
About to start Pisceing real hard.
Somebody got a birthday coming up. Listen.
It's on a Wednesday night, too.
Ow. Well, we know that you could be here, but you don't have to.
Charles, let me tell you something.
You're going to be in them streets.
When you like I'm getting, you don't care about none of this stuff. You want to be at home, sleep, taking a nap.
Okay, or here.
Or here at work. Correct.
Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-DO.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, Trent.
Hi.
You know, we've been talking about the Michael Jackson biopic, and there's more casting news that
Jafar?
has come out. Jafar as Michael, Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson, and Nia Long as Catherine. What do you think about those casting choices?
You know what I think? I think the Joe Jackson that was in the Michael Jackson musical in Broadway, it will be a good Joe Jackson. He was on The Price is Right the other day, too.
What's his name?
I forgot his name.
Okay.
I follow him on Instagram, though.
Okay, well, you're going to look that up
But,
first.
yeah, Nia Long is interesting. That's interesting. She's going to play Catherine Jackson, all the Catherine Jacksons?
I assume so.
Yeah, I can see Domingo. That's a good cast. But Nia Long as Catherine Jackson, like, if they get the wig right, then maybe.
For Catherine.
Oh, the Catherine Jackson wig has to be in full effect. It
has to be full. It has to be lush. It has to have the perfect.
It has to be
feather.
a cascade feathered bob. It's the same hairstyle that James Brown and Shirley Chisholm had.
It is not.
It is.
It is not. It had
Google
more
it.
length to it. It had more length to it. James Brown, you know,
Well,
his was
the
not
current
hitting
the current Catherine Jackson wig is the same style as the Shirley Chisholm.
Okay.
and the James Brown. Oh, and Maxine Waters. They all have the same hair.
That is probably something that's in the Vivica Fox line.
From it's the 1950s Cascade.
I mean, that's a popular look
Yeah, for that era of woman.
for that age. I'm not mad at it.
Me either. It's interesting. When is it going to come out? Do we have a date? It's going to be in the theaters?
Yep. It is slated for 2025 release. So no actual date yet. I guess it's in pre-production now. I'm not sure when they start actual production, but
Interesting. You going to watch it?
absolutely. But
How many Michael Jackson movies have we had?
Quite a bit, because there's the one with Flex Alexander that nobody talks about and nobody should.
We talk about it
Mm-mm.
in the way that in which we should. I do.
I still remember the photo of Flex in a tree with that horrible makeup.
Yeah, bad choices are a good thing sometimes. We can laugh at it later.
Indeed. But to me, honestly, American Dream, the Jackson story.
Yeah.
Is
Joe Jackson, you a cheat. You a liar, you a cheat, and I don't want you. I don't want you.
Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
Yeah. And what's the lady's name? Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett. Jason Weaver.
Jason Weaver. Young Jason Weaver. Jason Weaver. Mm-hmm. A treasure, a national treasure. You know, we don't give Jason Weaver as much credit as we should. That man is a triple threat. He can act, he can sing, he can dance, and we need to give him more props.
And his mom made sure that they took the right approach with those
Yes.
Lion King royalties, still getting coins off of that.
Chicago's
to this
finest.
day.
Stand up.
So listen, not only that though, right? Because we've been talking a little bit about crushes and things like that. And I was talking about how Lorenz Tate, you know, back in the late 80s, early 90s.
It's for everybody's forever crush.
Everybody's forever crush. You recognized him on a lot of the shows. Another person that lines up along with that was also in American Dream. Let me tell you what. Bumper Robinson.
Oh, yeah, he played Jackie, right?
He played Jackie. He was Clarence the Sofine on Amen. He also was on A Different World. Mm-hmm. He was on The Game. He's been...
Where's he at these days?
Listen, I follow him on Twitter. Not Twitter, Instagram.
Is he Jehovah's Witness?
I don't believe so. But maybe
it's Wesley Jonathan that's Jehovah's Witness.
Okay. So yeah, Bumper, he's around. He still does some acting stuff. He was a few years back, he was on the Kenya Barris Netflix show. So he still pops up here and there.
He seems like somebody's fun dad.
He does have children.
Yeah, he seems
daughters.
He seems like somebody's fun dad.
Still handsome.
You can see him like walking around in the marshes at Ladera Center like on Saturday in the afternoon, something like that.
I don't think he's there. But, you know, I feel the vibe that you're giving.
Yeah, it's a story I made up.
And I feel it. But I get where you're going with it. I get the image. Yeah. I don't think the Ladera Center would be his area of choice. But
you never know. You might live in Westchester. Just want to be local for the weekend.
You're not hearing me. You're not following me.
Yeah.
Larry Bumper Robinson, though, is a treasure. And
is that his name, Larry?
His first name is Larry.
Okay.
Yeah. He LA area. I think he went to like CES back in the day. Laces, shout out to them.
So he is local.
Yeah.
Westchester.
No.
Because you talking about Laces.
No.
I know somebody else that went to Laces.
The Valley.
Okay.
The Valley. But you know, you're not hearing me though. He's on Instagram though. Shout out to him.
Yeah. What's up, Bumper?
So we've talked about a great deal tonight, right?
Yes, the lovely Cy Smith. Oh,
shout out to Cy Smith.
She is lovely.
Hit her up online, Cyber Smith.
Yeah,
with an S.
Go to her show Friday night.
Man, go music at the Peppermint Club.
And if you see me, don't speak. I'm not talking. Don't talk. I'm not friendly.
You're not friendly?
I'm actually gonna have security with me on Friday, so you can't even get close.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I'm not even playing.
Grammy week in LA.
Don't even come and talk to me. Stay far away from me.
Don't talk to Trent if you see him outside at
Just
Grammy
wave.
Week in LA. It's a lot of events happening. So if you are outside in the LA, it is also supposed to rain this weekend in LA.
God, that's
An
right.
atmospheric river, they're calling it.
2 of them back to back.
Man, not feeling it. Don't like the cold.
Me
Want it to
either.
be warm, but you know, here we are. So Trent the artist.
Yes.
As always, you got to let everybody know where to find you, where to tap in with you, besides here on Wednesday nights.
At Trent the Artist. I'm always active on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Tapping it in. And of course, you have a podcast in the mix with Trent.
I do.
That they can tap in
It'll
with.
be on Friday.
All right, new episode. So, one last topic. Well, it's really a question because it's not even topically worth me diving into. Do you keep up with Blueface and Krishan Rock?
Definitely not.
Definitely not, but you've heard a little bit, right?
I'm aged out of that drama.
So here's my question to you, right? because I was having this conversation, and you know, she pops up on social media, and people follow their drama, and they have a reality show, and you think about people like that, right? What do you do as a friend or even an associate or an acquaintance with someone that has that type of drama or erratic behavior going in, where one minute they're a victim, then the next minute they're co-conspirators, and so forth? How do you maintain a balance in that? Because generally, you know, a lot of people step back from those type of situations because that drama can extend to you, as we've seen it happen. But then when these people come out and say, you know, oh, I was abused later, or I was a victim, how do you handle? Because again, we know that things are tricky, it's sensitive, but how do you ride that beat where you are there for someone, but you have to pull back for your own peace of mind and sanity?
Just what you said. Shout out to my homegirl, Stacy. I've known Stacy since 1995. And I'm not going to put all of Stacy's business out in the streets, but me and Stacy have stopped talking, and she blocked me because she says that I'm mean because I told her, I put up a boundary about not dealing with your drama and your baby daddy and all this kind of stuff. And it was what was too far for me when the police called me to pick up her child. That was the line for me, because I was like, okay, you put yourself in a situation, and now I could easily be like the caretaker of your child forever. And that's not something that I was ready to do or sign up for. So I had to draw the line, and it was hurtful, and I was not trying to be mean, but people have to figure things out and fix their lives on their own without the influence of other people, because only they can do it. And you can't fix your life with everybody in your ear, because you got to be silent and you have to isolate, just like you have to separate yourself from other people's drama so you won't get caught in it.
Do you automatically...
It's hard, though.
It is hard. So you extend empathy, but does that have a limit as to how it goes, where you assume responsibility? You got 30 seconds to respond.
Yes, especially when things start affecting you to the point where it is now you are financially responsible and liable for something. That is beyond the line of what is acceptable.
Okay.
Go home and don't answer your phone.
There we have it. Listen, thank you for locking in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. We appreciate you. Coming up on the other side, we have the best of KBLA. Make sure you are tapped in here tomorrow, 9 p.m. We have more trending topics, more headlines, an interview with DMC of Run DMC for the new docuseries Kings from Queens. We also have an interview coming up with Cedric the Entertainer and Tachina Arnold of The Neighborhood.
I love her.
You know, all
Shout
of that
out to
and more
Tachina
tomorrow night. Thank you for locking in. Thank you to Trent the Artist
Thanks
and
for having
Cy
me.
Smith for joining us tonight. I want you to have an amazing night and be prepared for more tomorrow. I'll talk to you.
Hurricane and it rip the ceiling off a church and kill everyone inside.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.